Arizona governor says no to a Bitcoin strategic reserve bill that would have allowed some of their state pension funds to allocate money to Bitcoin. What was her reason? And was she right or was she wrong? We have a lot to talk about today. It's Cinco de Mayo. So to those of you that celebrate, mucho gusto and happy Cinco de Mayo. Also, we have a lot from President Trump today. He had an interview and crypto was brought up. We also have, speaking of government, a new bill for crypto. We have some of the highlights broken down. Is it good or bad for our space? Also, big day for Kaspa in the Kaspa community, as officially we are loading at 10 blocks per second. We'll talk about what that means for Kaspa's future. We have a very special guest. We have Nick from the Bitcoin Conference joining us today. I'm going to try to get him to spill some alpha on some fun things going on at the conference. You don't want to miss that. We have that and much, much more on today's episode of SINCITY Crypto. Let's go.
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to SINCITY Crypto, home of the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency content. Take old, boring, stale information, repackage that thing in a fun, sexy way. We throw price predictions at you as well.
Speaking of that, we just got to come clean. We were wrong.
100K did not happen. It was close, though. We got to, what, 98.5? 98.5. Pretty damn close. We smelled.
We were wrong.
We smelled.
Just say it.
The 100K.
We were wrong.
120.
There was one exchange in Southeast Asia that hit 100K at one point.
Yeah.
So,
anyways, hope you guys had a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's a packed show. We have a lot to talk about. Also, see some cool people in here. I saw someone said Happy Cinco de Porto. Not funny. Also, shout out to Blockchain Basement and then to all the mods. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's messed up, man. It's funny, but it's messed up.
you know, you said Porto. I really thought Portugal. I was like, oh yeah, Cinco de Porto, and then I was like, oh, never mind.
Deport.
Yeah. I got it now. It's sunk in.
Speaking of deporting, Governor Hobbs in Arizona has officially deported the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve Bill. We talked about this on, I believe it was Thursday or Friday. We were excited that it passed. And then when we dug into this lady's history of whether she vetoes or approves bills, well, she's, I think, the governor that vetoed the most amount of bills. And so she was a Democrat, didn't really have a bullish stance on crypto. So we assumed it was going to get vetoed, and it's official now. As Arizona governor calls crypto an untested investment and vetoes the Bitcoin Reserve Bill. A couple of highlights here from the CoinDesk article. Governor Katie Hobbs. I never met a Katie I liked. Didn't like any Katies.
Wow. If you're Katie and you're watching, David does not like you.
Well, I haven't met them yet. I said met. Jesus.
Dave.
Anyways, Katie Hobbs vetoed a bill on Friday that would have allowed the state to hold the digital assets as part of its official reserves. This is her quote. The Arizona State Retirement System is one of the strongest in the nation because it makes sound and informed investments. Arizonans' retirement funds are not the place for the state to try untested investments like virtual currency.
Untested, right. There's no ETFs out there. There's no largest company globally. BlackRock is not tested at all. It's why don't we just keep testing what's been failing time and time again? And it's, falling short of the budget for the state. It's also falling short of taxpayer expectations, falling short on returns for your retirement fund versus the private sector retirement funds. You got a beautiful track record there, Arizona. Congratulations. Keep doing what you're doing. And maybe your land will turn more desert and dry as time goes on.
Interesting take there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I like it or I hate it. Here's the thing. This is not something that's surprising. I got a question, though. But before I ask you that question, I want to give a big thank you. Today's show is brought to you by Stake.us. If you don't have an account with Stake yet, you're missing out. Because why? Well, they're going to give you $1 of free Stake cash every single time you log in once a day. So that equals $30 in Stake cash, which in turn you can redeem for crypto and use it to do whatever you'd like, whether it's buy more Kaspa or maybe use it to fill up a tank of gas or maybe use it to pay your Netflix subscriptions because that thing has gone up so high. All jokes aside, please help us out, support the sponsors, create an account with Stake.us, have some fun. It's biggest social casino in the world. With that being said, do you think this will trickle down to the other states that are currently in the process of potentially?
What is going to trickle down?
They
The
see
veto?
one state. Yes.
No. At the end of the day, this is very, very simply boils down to Democrat, anti crypto. That's all it is, right?
I think so too.
You think that the a Republican governor would veto it at this point? No, because we know that the president is bullish on crypto. He's doing a strategic reserve. It's like everyone understands. The executive branch, the entire Republican Party for this
Most of
most
except for Mitch McConnell.
yeah,
But he's
for the most
done.
part,
He's almost dead.
they're going to back what Donald Trump is supporting, right? And so close the borders. All Republicans are, yay, let's do it. Maybe not so much tariffs across the board, but
it's funny though, 'cause-
crypto for sure.
Well, Trump launched his own meme coin. I thought all the Republicans would too, but I guess they missed that.
Yeah.
Look, this is a big L for Arizona, for the people that hold a pension. No one's saying go out there and put 30, 40% of your state pension funds in Bitcoin. We know it's a volatile asset, but to not have any, I think you're doing a disservice to the entire state, to the public workers. And I agree with Rob. I don't think this is going to trickle down to other states denying it. And honestly, it sounds very mundane and it sounds very superficial, but I think it boils down to Democrat or Republican. If you're in a Republican state and you got a Bitcoin reserve bill sitting on the governor's desk, I think there's about a 90% chance of them signing it if it gets to the governor's desk. Now, each state has its own Congress, Senate, and House, just like the federal government does. And so once it gets past Congress at the state level and hits the governor's desk, I think it's as simple as Democrat probably going to deny, veto it. Republican, more than likely, I would put like 90% odds that they're going to approve it and push that thing forward. But this is a big L for Arizona, and I think anyone in Arizona, like Rob mentioned, if it's good enough for the largest asset manager in the entire world, why not do 3%?
Every person eventually comes to this realization that, damn it, I should have bought Bitcoin. Right?
Yeah.
And it's always an opportunity in the past where you had a chance to buy it, right? Let's just say myself personally, before I purchased my first Bitcoin, guy sitting here telling me about it. Hey man, this is the future, dude. Hop on Bitcoin. I laugh at the idea. Anyways, I always think back. I'm like, damn, the price of Bitcoin then was like $800. Damn it.
Yeah, same.
And so this happens to individuals, but this also happens to governments, companies, organizations. The same transpires. There's no different. Look at Germany. Germany sold its 50,000 Bitcoin.
That's a lot, yeah.
Yeah. For their price was $58,000. So, anyways, they sold $3 billion worth of Bitcoin, which could be, right now would be worth about $6 million. Not quite, because not a full 2x, but you get the point.
Germany's always messing stuff up,
Yeah, except for those Mercedes.
The schnitzel.
Those things are.
Have you ever had a schnitzel from Wolfgang Puck? He'd come in and say, "Ja, das ist viel Schnitzel." I'd be like, "Yeah." Anyways,
Thank you. Appreciate it. He just thinks he's
Anyways, moving on, I guess. Here are the last week's flows, institutional flows into crypto assets. We had another really, really big week. I think it was the second biggest week we've seen for the last, 12 weeks. The biggest week was last week, as you can see from this. Where's that little histogram? There it is. So the biggest since this was the fourth week of the year. And so really nice. Obviously not as much as we had last week, but still 1.8 billion flowed into BTC. ETH came in at number 2 with 149 million of institutional money flowing into the Ethereum institutional products. And then number 2 was XRP at $10.5 million. And then it was Solana. We saw SWI have a little bit. This was roughly 300K. Cardano had around 1 million. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And so still strong inflows from the institutions into the Bitcoin product. Moving on from BTC to Kaspa. Shout out to the developers. Shout out to the people that are working on the network, and shout out to the community. As it is official, the Crescendo hard fork is live. It was successful. What does this mean? Well, that means that Kaspa is now the fastest proof of work blockchain in the world. I believe someone can fact check me on that. But you can see here on the website, 10 blocks per second. Just to put it in perspective, okay? 10 blocks per second. Bitcoin does one every 10 minutes. Someone do the math on that and put it in the chat. I had the math, but I forgot the number. But either way, for a proof of work, we always talk about proof of work being the most secure, being the most decentralized. There's always problems, right? It's not really scalable. Well, you got 10 blocks per second. And so, I don't know. Kaspa can get some badass apps on there, get some builders in there, launch like 1, 2, or 3 really, really good, clean products, get some users in there, and you could start seeing the price of Kaspa really appreciate very quickly, very, very quickly. So shout out to the team, and shout out to all the Kaspa holders. This is a big achievement. I know this has been a while coming, and so we're excited to see how this plays out and to see the growth that Kaspa has moving forward. In honor of Cinco de Mayo, I think it's only right that we share some Cinco de Mayo memes. When you have a good idea in Spanish, I saw a light on this, I feel like, on Amazon. It was pretty cool. I was going to buy it, but then my wife saw it in the cart and she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I don't know, babe." She's like, "You really going to spend $50 on that?" I said, "Probably not." Anyways, I didn't buy this thing, okay? I didn't buy this
God.
All right. I want to talk a little bit price action here. And so this is the BTC chart. This is on the daily. Now, a couple things. One, we lost our POC from our fixed range that we had going back to, this was the time where we dipped into that 90, it was between 90 and 110K. That is the fixed range we pulled. And we talked about how important that POC was to take it. We did. We spent 3 days above it, and then we just broke below. So that thing should be our level of resistance as we come back up. But the other thing I want to note, my friends, is a potential bearish pattern unfolding on the Bitcoin daily. And this would be a head and shoulders pattern unless we break above $97,800. If we put in a lower high, you're looking at an invert, or you're looking at a true head and shoulders pattern. And so the level that we want to make sure the next leg up we clear to invalidate this potential head and shoulders, we'll just call it 97K. And so we can clear 97K, this thing gets invalidated, and we form more of kind of like a rising channel, rising wedge. But if we don't, we fall short. Let's say we get up to like 95.8, 96,000, and we come back down, we probably have more downside. Then we could talk about that $91,500 level. This is a level that Magic talked about last Tuesday. This is a level that I've had on our chart here for I'd say about a week to 10 days or so. And so pivotal point for Bitcoin, we want to watch 97K. And again, we want to break above that. If not, head and shoulders. And I think that measured move, let's actually measure that move. So we take it from, measure the depth of the head, and depending on where this thing breaks out, yeah, I mean, either way, even if it breaks out towards the bottom, you're looking at that 91.5. And so I believe we still have our limit long order set on BTC at $91,500. And so we're keeping that there. We're not altering it. And if we do get a dip down there, I expect a big rebound. And again, you see what Bitcoin does every time it begins to dip into that region. It's a wick and we close higher. Wick, we close higher. Wick, we close higher. These few wicks, we didn't quite get down there. But regardless, fairly bullish on BTC. So that's one thing to keep an eye on Bitcoin. I did want to go over, take a look at the crypto market, see what's going on here. And so let me refresh the page. We already talked about BTC 94.4. We did expect prices to go up and retest that 100K level. We obviously did not get that. And so could we get some chop? Can we create another range between $91,500 and $97,000 potentially, or even a tighter range if we take the closes between $93,700 and $97,000? Maybe. It just depends. But I just think there's so much momentum, especially with the Bitcoin conference coming this month. That's in what, 22 days? 22 days, the Bitcoin conference will be here. And so we know a lot of the big companies, they save up their big announcements for big events and conferences. So what are we going to get? We know Cardano's going to be here doing a Bitcoin DeFi demo. We know there's going to be a bunch of other projects that are doing the same. And so I expect to see a lot of hype around BTC as the conference gets here as well. And then just kind of the altcoins, ETH is sitting at $1,814. Pretty flat across the board. We take a look at the biggest gainers on the top 24 hour or over the last 24 hours. 4, no idea what 4 is, but that's up 1,300% in 90 days. What is this thing? Have you heard about 4, right?
I have
Oh,
not.
Binary X. That's the binaries. Then we have Core, Bonk, and then BitTensor up 5.8%. Guys, these subnets have been exploding. Let's take a peek here at these subnets. These are BitTensor subnets. I believe there was one that was absolutely crushing it. We take a look at the last week. Okay, so you have subnet 88. That is up 336% over the last 1 week. This ecosystem is exploding. Is absolutely exploding, and we're seeing a lot of money pouring in to the BitTensor subnets, and the growth has been, I believe, compounding 20% month over month. This is the Bitcoin of AI, my friends. This is the Bitcoin of altcoins, and it's got, I would say, almost identical tokenomics to what Bitcoin has, and so. You guys know how bullish I am on BitTensor. Those of you that are part of our Patreon, first and foremost, thank you. Second most, you know where BitTensor ranks in my portfolio. You know how high it is. And so I am uber bullish on BitTensor, and I think it's only going to keep going up from here as far as the from the fundamental side, not necessarily price. Sure, price is going to go up, but definitely we'll see some drawdowns. And then you have the 24-hour losers, Soul Layer, WorldCoin, and Flare. Flare had a really nice rally, seeing a little bit of a pullback. But again, pretty flat across the board on the 24-hour as you look through the top 10. Doge, flat. Cardano actually down 3%. Wow, sub 67 cents. That was a pretty big level. Rob, what's your kind of consensus sentiment on where the markets are? Pretty flat across the board. Talked about Bitcoin losing that POC at 95.7. And if you don't,
I saw Bitcoin this morning at 93.5, and the same thing happened late last night. So last night dropped down to 93,000. We saw it get back up to about that 94.5 range. Looks like we're doing that again. And so part of me wants to say, hey, we're rebounding. We kind of went down and tested 93. We'll be back up to 95 here in no time. Look at the price of Bitcoin's moved to $1,000 in the positive direction here. But I don't know, dude. At the end of the day, the NASDAQ's kind of flat. The index funds are flat. I think that there's an exhaustion when it comes to the tariff news. So I just don't see much movement. I was excited last week. I thought we were catching momentum, but I don't know, man. I feel like this week might be a snooze fest on Bitcoin price action.
FOMC is Wednesday, Rob. Should be some volatility.
You think we're going to get a cut?
No. But there's always volatility because people are like, all right, what's Jerome going to say? It's been a month. Tariffs are in play now. This is really the first meeting since we've had the tariffs in play for more than a day or two. And the CME is still at like 99%. Yeah, the CME doesn't think anything's going to happen.
97.6%.
Yeah. So it's like everyone expects nothing to happen, but people still overreact to what he says. And so at this point, it's all about his press conference and what he's going to say. And that's usually about an hour to or 45 minutes to an hour long. That's going to be happening on Wednesday. And so, yeah, I don't think anything is going to happen, but it'll be interesting to see. They have more data. Inflation is going down. Jobs numbers look good. But he's going to, I think, here, I'll just tell you in a nutshell what he's going to say on Monday or on Wednesday. We don't know the effects the tariffs are going to have, and so we're going to wait and see. He's going to spend 45 minutes answering questions, and that is the answer he's going to get to in every one of those questions. So if you don't want to watch an hour and a half of just Jerome Powell up there talking and saying the same thing he said 5 meetings ago, there you go. You're very welcome. Someone said, what is my price target for Tau, Will Carter? I'm eyeing anywhere between, I would say, 4 to 6K for BitTensor. I think it puts that around, my math's probably up like close to 100 billion. I think we can get there for sure. Okay. With that being said, let's talk about this. This is very important. So we know the Fit 21 bill that everyone was bullish on. Apparently, Matthew Siegel, I think he's the CIO of, or the CEO of Van Eck. Is it Van Eck? Let's take a peek. Head of digital assets at Van Eck. Okay. So he posted this. New U.S. crypto market structure bill just dropped. Looks like a major upgrade from Fit 21. Rob, if you want to pay attention, a lot of important stuff here, my friend. No income wealth limits on retail buyers. No accredited investor or suitability checks. Clear decentralization tests, so no unilateral control. Greater than 10% of holders must be disclosed while the project is still centralized. DeFi protocols are exempt if they're non-custodial and don't exercise user discretion. Define stablecoins without calling them securities. And there's going to be an optional early registration path and a real joint SEC CFTC rulemaking. To which Matthew said, solid start. Rob, anything on here that kind of caught your eye that you're happy with or not happy with?
No, it seems like no-brainers. If we removed ourselves from the past regulatory hurdles that we had and the banking chokehold that the government and the banking system had unilaterally to hold people out of crypto, this seems like no-brainer stuff, right? No limits on retail buyers, right? You don't need to be a privy investor to go buy crypto. Seems like a normal thing, right? Oh, how much money you got? Okay, you can buy crypto. That seems like a no-brainer. And then just to double down on that, you got no accredited investors. So kind of the same thing. So no limits on how much money. And also you don't need to have a certain membership pass. Then you got some clarity on decentralization.
DeFi is the big one.
Now I think that's progressive and forward thinking, but I think there's going to be a lot more because like if you ask me what makes a project decentralized, I couldn't even tell you an answer. I can give you I can start writing stuff down on a piece of paper, but I mean, even then, and we talk crypto every single day for hours, and so I would find it difficult for me to clarify what makes a project decentralized, what makes it centralized. Is it the tokenomics? Is it the proof of work consensus? Is it how many nodes there are? How many users there are? So that I think is going to find itself. But what I think is kind of cool is that you're basically giving a nod to the banks to say, hey, look, no rules here for people buying crypto. I think that's a great start. Offer the services to everyone. Here, let's start figuring out how to label something as decentralized. Here's some groundwork. We'll start there because I think that's kind of what we got there. So pretty bullish. Wouldn't be surprised to see by the end of the year, some banking services, the big banks, the big boys, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, wouldn't be surprised to see them rolling out some kind of platform or some arm or some part of their website, retirement account, whatever it is, offering crypto as part of your normal banking services. You'll have a checking account, you'll have a savings account, and you also have a digital wallet on your bank account. That's coming this year. Do you agree?
Yeah. Sorry, I was looking for, those of you that have the almanac, we do have a breakdown of how we would rank decentralization. And so if you do have an almanac, thank you first and foremost. And you can just, reference this in your book. But here we have node distribution, foundation control over the network, and a token distribution. And so that is how we ranked it in our magazine. And so I think that's a great start. I think that's average, what people look at. But I think the big one is foundation control over the network. And so you look at something like Kaspa or Bitcoin, I would say that's very decentralized. You look at something like Solana, and this is not meant to be a negative, I would not call that as decentralized, right? At any point, if something happens, they can just go, unplug the network and plug it back in. I would say Cardano, very decentralized, right? And so there's different measures you can use, and there's also numbers and stats you can look at. But I'm just hoping, because this is very tricky, even for the people that have been in the space a while, imagine the people that are trying to draft this up as a bill to try to maneuver their way through, well, what's decentralized, what's not? Well, nothing really is 100% decentralized. At some point, it is centralized, especially in the beginning. So what's the process of going from, we launched the token, it's centralized, to where it becomes decentralized? I think that's where a lot of the work has to be done. And I am confident that they'll call on the smartest people in our space to go in there and help them with that, with this administration in place. People like David Sachs, who are extremely pro, and Bo Hines, who are very, very pro blockchain, pro Bitcoin, and pro crypto. And so, yeah, I mean, to me, this is very bullish. But again, I want to see how they tackle decentralized finance. I think that's a very intriguing one. The idea of making DeFi protocols KYC everyone, I think that's dumb. And so thankfully, we don't got to worry about that, because I don't think that's going to happen. With that being said, let's jump to Trump, okay? In honor of May 5th, or this was May 4th, Robin, they say Star Wars, May the 4th be with you. This is what the White House posted. What are your thoughts? Been working out.
He also posted an image of himself as the Pope.
That's the one.
Yeah, and so you had a Pope followed by
Captain America,
Darth Trump, and then you also, and then today I would not be surprised to see a Poncho Trump, where he says he's the greatest Mexican president ever.
I highly doubt that.
It's gonna change the name from Cinco de Mayo to 5th of May.
It's like, it's the greatest thing that's ever happened to Mexico.
We're no longer calling it Cinco de Mayo. We're calling it 5th of May. It's the greatest country.
He's like, we're changing the name of Mexico to Southern Texas.
No tequila anymore, whiskey only.
Man. Okay. And then Trump did do an interview, and a couple of things about crypto was brought up. So this one, he was talking about the crypto markets in the U.S. and how they performed with the rest of the stock market. Listen to this.
I want crypto. I think crypto is important, because if we don't do it, China's going to. Mm-hmm. And it's new. Mm-hmm. It's very popular. Mm-hmm. It's very hot. If you look at the market, when the market went down, that stayed much stronger than other aspects of the market. But I want crypto because a lot of people, millions of people want it. I don't know if you know that Biden went after it violently, and then before the election, he changed his tune entirely. His head of the SEC, everybody changed their tune. You know why? Because there were hundreds of millions of people that are participating in crypto, and they wanted to get their votes.
So that was that, okay? Also, he was asked about his meme coin, okay? Listen to this. This is pretty interesting.
Ask you about something I don't think you've been asked much about, which is you've branded your own cryptocurrency. The coin's values actually surged recently after you announced that top holders would be invited to have dinner.
I don't even know that. What did it surge to?
What did it surge to?
Yeah, what's it worth?
Okay, real quick, Rob. What are the chances that he actually didn't know what it surged to?
He definitely
does. He definitely.
I have a feeling he's doing everything all the other DJs do. Like, what's the prep? It's up! It's up! 4 a.m. Melania's like smacking him, like, turn your damn brightness down on your phone, asshole.
That's funny. Okay, all right, let's go back.
You might as well tell me, because I have no idea.
Well, it surged. It surged. I will find it. Hold on one second. 5.2 or 58%. So 58%.
To what number?
That's not bad. 14.32.
What?
$14.32.
Oh, I was like, what is she talking
What? Billion?
No, dollars per cryptocurrency.
$1 billion?
No.
What's the number? I mean, what is
Oh my God, I had not
$1 billion?
Two people who have no idea. What? $1 billion? $200 billion a coin? Okay, all right.
the amount?
The meme coin's value hit a peak of 75.35 on January 19th.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
And that's before your inauguration, and then it surged.
Look, I'm in favor of crypto.
But let me just ask you, what do you say to those who argue that when they hear that, they worry you're profiting from the presidency?
I'm not profiting from anything. All I'm doing is, I started this long before the election.
Okay, he launched it, 2 days before the inauguration?
Yeah, I guess what he's saying is that it was in the works long before.
Sure.
But yeah, we know what happened.
We know what you did, Trump.
We know
got
what
you
you,
did.
man.
Yeah,
It's all good, man.
Yeah, you're one of
your
us
thing,
now.
baby.
You're one of us now. Well, not us, because we haven't launched a meme coin, but yeah.
I want
the only thing he didn't do was say, how great crypto was. I'm about, elect me for president. Meme coin, not financial advice. He forgot the disclaimer. None of this would have happened if he would have said, please, I'm not a financial advisor. Please take and do this information as you please, but I do not recommend this as financial advice. Had he done that, these questions would have been easily dismissed. He said, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't ask me that question. It is merely a collectible that I'm offering to my fans.
Yeah. So does that mean we don't have to say not financial advice? Or the president didn't do it?
We give fancy advice, not financial advice.
Oh.
There you go.
I don't know if I like that. Okay. What are your thoughts? He mentioned in the first clip, Bitcoin stood up fairly well. And then the second one,
it's not affected by tariffs the way the U.S. economy is.
It's actually, I could argue it's positively affected by tariffs, certain currencies, right?
But what I'm saying is that, let's be real. Why is the U.S. stock market and economy down?
It's Biden's economy, dude.
It's tariffs.
Yeah, it's tariffs.
And so we're not putting tariffs on crypto. Now, overall economy swings. No surprise that once the overall economy pulled back, we also saw Bitcoin fall off of its all-time high and pull back, down to, the sub 100K, but it's performed better than the stock market. So, with that said, I mean, he's not wrong. It has performed better than the stock market. So, and then also if you zoom out, you take into consideration that Bitcoin over time, you expand the time horizon, it's going to keep increasing in value month in, month over, month in and month out, especially year in, year out. We know that Bitcoin outperforms the stock market, and that's no surprise there. Yeah.
Okay. And then you thought tariffs stopped at aluminum and cars, Robin. Not up in here. The movie industry cannot get away from the tariffs either. The movie industry in America is dying a very fast death. Other countries are offering all sorts of incentives to draw our filmmakers and studios, and many others are being devastated.
SINCITY, Dubai, what's up?
Therefore, I am authorizing the Department of Commerce and the United States Trade Representative to immediately begin the process of instituting a 100% tariff on any and all of the DVDs, CDs, VHS that are coming into this country that are produced in foreign lands. So, I guess we got to shut this production studio down.
Ain't nobody buying no damn DVDs no more, bro.
Yeah, what is it? What is it? Yeah.
Does anybody own a Blu-ray player or a DVD player?
Technically, your PlayStation doubles as a Blu-ray player.
Yeah, but now the Xbox doesn't even have a disc drive. Here's the thing. I still have no idea how the hell GameStop's in business. But hats off to them. They're buying Bitcoin, so
they're not.
Big shout out.
They have not. A lot of people are saying they're reneging on their promise to buy Bitcoin. Yeah. Haven't bought any yet. What's up, man? GameStop, what's going on, dude?
Yeah, they're still a publicly traded company. They announced they're going to buy. They just haven't pulled the trigger yet. And so all we know is that they don't need to disclose their purchase until the next quarterly meeting. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see them have exposure to some crypto next quarter.
But Rob, you know when they buy it. And I'm not saying they're going to tell people before they buy it, but the day they buy it, once it's done, they're going to announce it. Why? Because the stock price will shoot up, just like it did with.
No, I mean Tesla didn't, right? Tesla didn't say it until the quarterly report.
But
also when they sold, they didn't. But
that was before it was popular to buy Bitcoin as an institution. Now, Genius AI buys Bitcoin, announces it, stock rises massively. Rumble announces stock rises massively. Metaplanet announces stock rises massively. GameStop, when it first announced that it was going to buy Bitcoin, the stock rallied like hard. And so I don't know. I agree with you though. And you've said, maybe not, you haven't said it today, but you've said it in the past. They're not going to announce that, hey, tomorrow we're going to buy Bitcoin.
Yeah. Didn't Sailor buy more Bitcoin? I woke up this morning. I saw he had another buy.
No, but he did do the infamous tweet. This is too much blue. We need more orange. And every time he does that, he buys BTC.
I thought they announced the buy today.
Did they?
Maybe not. Yeah, 6 hours ago. Yeah. How'd you miss this one, bro? Look.
I don't know. How did I miss that one?
So you got Micro.
It's Strategy. Thank you.
Formerly MicroStrategy. Just Strategy has bought Bitcoin yet again, increasing their position to 555,000.
When is enough, man?
Acquired at $68,550 per Bitcoin on their average buy across the table. And so
yeah, this buy though was at 95.1.
95.1, yeah. Yeah, but their average buy is at 68.
Well,
you think they'll get to $1 million?
Yeah, obviously.
I mean, the price keeps going up. When you get to
so is
$200,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah, but as long as the stock price keeps going up, they'll just issue more debt or issue more bonds.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bitcoin and the Bitcoin conference, you guys know how excited we've been that the conference is finally coming to the entertainment capital of the world, the home of us, SINCITY Crypto, and to honor that and to get the juices flowing, right? Get excited. We have a very special guest joining with us today. Never been on the show. It's his first time, but is none other than Nick from the Bitcoin conference coming in here. Nick, welcome to the show, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
Hey.
I'm good, man. Thank you guys for having me. Excited to be here. I'm looking forward to coming out to Vegas and the orange wave that's about to take over the strip. It's going to be sick.
Let's do it, man. Also, Nick, I don't think you met my co-host, Rob. You met our other business partner and producer extraordinaire, Rocco, in the when he onboarded you. But we just want to say thank you for taking the time and joining us today. Just real quick, Nick, so people can know, what was your Bitcoin journey like? What's where'd you start?
Yeah, of course. I've been in Bitcoin since like 2016. I wanted to make some money. I had no idea what the hell it was. So I put some money into it. That money became a larger part of my portfolio. And as that became more and more percentage-wise of my portfolio, I started learning a bit about it. And then as I learned about it, I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. I want to own more of it. And then I was like, man, I just want to be involved in it and talk about it. And it's something I'm really passionate about. I'm sure we probably all have a similar passion for it. Yeah. I used to be in shitcoins. I didn't understand Bitcoin. But once I understood Bitcoin, I was like, oh, well, why am I going to diversify?
My thing is, I always see, when I first came in the space, I was like, why are these Bitcoin maxis? Why do they hate altcoins so much, right? And then you're around for a cycle, and then you're around for your second cycle, and then you see the shenanigans. Like, I get it. I get it why most people, they're like, screw the altcoins. And I'm more of a degenerate myself.
Even people that like, even people that are making money in altcoins, they all kind of tell you the same thing. They're like, hey, make money and then come back to take the profits and then come back to Bitcoin. It's like, leave for a short period of time, try to nail it, and then get back into Bitcoin, which, there are people that have success with that. I think that the difficulties of it is that there's a large ocean of altcoins, and it's like, which ones are going to be around for a while, because it's hard to dispute blockchain technology outside of Bitcoin having use case and utility. So it seems like a no-brainer. There's going to be more than Bitcoin, but it's such a swamp, man. There's so much mud out there, and it's hard to know which one you're going to get. And then at the end of the day, you got the bedrock, which is Bitcoin, and that just year over year you're going to return just across all markets. So
yeah, man, you guys are like in Vegas, right? Like, there's a shit ton of degenerates there. Like, people love to fucking gamble. And sorry if I'm cussing, but people love to gamble.
This is a family show, Nick. Just kidding. We cuss all the time.
I bring my family to the slot machines. I have them sit next to my chair, and I say, "Watch, Daddy make some money here."
People like to gamble, and they should have the ability and the right to gamble. But I personally view like Bitcoin not as gambling, but the other stuff as gambling. If you want to gamble, go ahead and gamble, but it's like, just don't compare it to Bitcoin to me.
Speaking of gambling, Nick, when you come out to Vegas, are you gonna you play poker, slots? What's your vice, man?
I actually do a lot of arbitrage sports betting. I don't know if you're familiar with that. I use a software called OddsJam, and where I'm betting both sides of everything. So like I guarantee a profit, and it's all volume based. So I always like to win, so I don't like to gamble.
Fair enough. Well, one guy, what was it? Zach from The Hangover said, it's not gambling if you know you're going to win. And so it looks like you cracked the code. Just be careful in Vegas, man. You win too much here, the sports books will literally, my cousin does it for a living, and he's gotten banned from every single sport book in Vegas.
My neighbor is a professional gambler. He can't go to any MGM properties, and he has to just visit infrequently to Caesars. He can't go there too often.
Sam's Town. It's great. Nick, I'm so sorry, Nick. I know we just met, but I'm going to put you on the spot. Who is the speaker you're looking most forward to at the conference?
Oh, that's a good question. Let's see. I mean, I love listening to Jack Mahler speak personally. I just think the way he shares the message is something that people can relate to and is understandable. And it's not just some, old person explaining, because it's literally very easy to understand. I've shared the way he talks to multiple people, and a lot of people have been orange pilled because of that.
Yeah. So
I always look forward to him. And then also Ian Carroll.
Ian's good.
He's just like
I'm looking at the speaker list. And there is a ton of speakers coming. You have the likes of Michael Saylor, obviously, but the Ross Ulbricht, man, I'm excited to hear from Ross this year. David Sachs is going to be there. I know Vlad Tenev just announced. There's the CEO of Robinhood that he'll be speaking. And we know, we're a convention town here, Nick, and we know that people usually save big announcements for the big conferences.
Exactly.
And while this is the biggest Bitcoin conference in the world and it's coming to Vegas, any nuggets you can drop for us? Anything people should a speech they should maybe keep an eye on, or something that's coming down the pipeline that maybe you can drop some breadcrumbs for us?
Yeah, let's just say we haven't announced our biggest speakers yet.
Wait, what?
So we haven't announced our biggest speakers yet. So there's more to come.
So about
that have not been announced.
Does the first name start with a D?
Potentially, but potentially not.
It's messed up, Nick.
David, you're going to potentially?
All right, guys, it's me. It's me. I'm going there. I'm doing it pro bono. Just kidding. All jokes aside, I do want to tell people, though, that you guys are increasing the prices, I believe, every Friday. Correct, Nick?
Yep, every Friday leading up to the conference. So I would highly encourage you all to act sooner than later, because, for example, when we did announce somebody at our last conference whose name did start with a D, we did plan that around a price increase, and people that joined and paid for the ticket after had to pay more.
Yeah, and it's the name of the game. So what Nick is telling you is the biggest speakers have not been announced yet, and chances are they'll be announced around a time where the price is going up and everyone's going to flock to buy their tickets. Don't pay more. And I want to give a big shout out to Lisa Bear, who DM'd me and said she had used our code to buy a ticket, and she was wondering about the process of how to redeem it. So I kind of walked her through it. But guys, as you know, there's a link in our description. Go buy your ticket. And then
I did want to say, just myself personally, this is I'm going to be there, but if you use our code OLA, buy a ticket, save yourself 10%, have an excuse to come out to Vegas. We will be hanging out at 8 Cigar Lounge, and then this is at Resort World. So come hang out with us, smoke some cigars. If you buy, I don't know the exact date yet, but if you buy a ticket, we're gonna be hanging out there. So come hang out with SINCITY Crypto.
We are?
And yeah. Come hang out with SINCITY Crypto.
I guess we are. Great.
And
Nick, you want to join us?
Smoke a cigar, man. You know what? I'm a big cigar guy. Are you smoke cigars?
I will.
There it is.
Typically when I'm golfing. So
that's always.
But when in Vegas, it's not your normal day.
Nick, I want to ask you, and I don't know if you can answer this question or not, but Rob and I were having this discussion. Obviously, we're excited it's coming to Vegas. We were actually surprised that it wasn't in Vegas earlier. And the question then arose, well, is this something that they're going to keep coming back to Vegas for? Is there anything you can shed some light on there? Or is it going to continue to be a different city every year?
We don't have any intention of keeping it in the same place every single year. Will there be times where we come back to certain places because they're great places to have conferences? 100%. But it's not going to always be in the same exact city, because there's people that, that we couldn't get in Nashville. Like if we had Miami back to back 2 years, and then people didn't want to go to Miami. So we went to Nashville, and then, we had a different crowd there. And now in Vegas, we're going to get different people. So we want to continue moving it, but also maybe even returning to certain places because we want to build that community, but the community is a global community. Yeah. The cool thing about working in this industry, in this company, we were at a conference in Abu Dhabi. We had one in Amsterdam. We have one in Hong Kong this year. So Bitcoin is not just an American thing. It is an entire world, a global, like everyone has access to it. And seeing that hands-on in first person, it's super cool to see. So I'm looking forward to being in Vegas. Will we be in Vegas again? Maybe, maybe not. But if we are, I'm sure it'll be even bigger the next time around.
Fair enough. I like that. Okay, Nick, before I let you go, let's say I'm a first time, I've never been to a Bitcoin conference. This is going to be my first time coming. What advice would you give to people?
Yeah, I mean, go there, eager to learn, network, maybe even buy some really dope art. There's where else are you going to see a presidential candidate, a presidential candidate, all these people speaking at one conference, a CEO of a Robinhood, all speaking and being bullish on the exact same asset. So you don't have that opportunity in other industries. So this is a place where you can go see all those people and realize I might be the only friend I know that talks about Bitcoin, but when I'm there, this is my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're referencing I know that you have was it the bazaar, or I think it was called last time, or yeah, it's just like a lot of shops with like Bitcoin like art and things of that
Bitcoin
nature.
art.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It was fun to go through.
We're excited, man.
Yeah.
There's so much we want to do, and host. I don't know if you know, we have an actual studio here in Vegas, but trying to do that, making sure we go to the conference. Obviously, we're going to be there, and we're just excited. We know a lot of people are coming out here that are watching our show that are excited to see our studio, hang out with us, and obviously go to the conference. So we're super excited, man. And I just wanted to thank you for joining our show. It was a pleasure to have you on and actually meet you in person. I know we chatted over text, but Nick, all I ask is, before I let you go, if there's any announcement that you're about to make and you can share some with the people, please come to me. I'd love to have you back on the show, and we'll get the hype train going again, man.
Very cool. If I'm able to do that and can give you guys some information before it hits the world, I'll definitely do that. But look forward to coming to Vegas and looking forward to the orange wave and seeing that Bitcoin logo there. So very, very bullish.
Amen to that, man. Thank you again for joining us, Nick. Pleasure to meet you, man, and we'll hopefully see you soon.
Likewise, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, brother.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Man, if you're not excited about this damn conference,
It's gonna be
something wrong with you.
It's gonna be so good. And I'm telling you guys, every Friday the price is gonna go up. And I know Nick can't say anything, but I'm gonna speculate. I think they're gonna announce someone from the White House is coming. And
I wouldn't be surprised to see Trump
and those
in video call. I bet you that's what he did. I know Trump's son did a video call earlier.
What if they bring Gary Gensler? I mean, they're having Peter Schiff there.
Because Trump did a video call for another conference, but it was a small one. It's really small. So
I mean, I think if he does, he's gonna come down here. That's what I think. I don't know.
The Trump Hotel right down the street, literally across the street.
Yeah,
So
yeah, we'll see. All right, cool. With that being said, I do want to move on. But before I move on, actually, I'm going to move on. Let's talk about Ethereum, Robin's favorite altcoin. Interesting here, Rob. Did you see Vitalik's manifesto of how he mentioned he wants to make Ethereum as simple as Bitcoin? What's his time frame? Well, 5 years, which is actually not bad relative to how the speed that they've been going. So Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin has proposed a new architecture and protocol-wide standards to make the chain simpler, faster, and easier to maintain, drawing inspiration from Bitcoin's minimalistic design. Well, you were pretty much like Bitcoin, and then you moved to proof of stake because you were worried about the climate. I guess that was one of the reasons. But okay, so keeping the protocol simple brings benefits that are key to making it, quote, a credibly neutral and globally trusted base layer, he said. He also emphasized that the benefits of his proposed changes do not appear immediately in the short term, but in the long term, it'll be worth it. Question becomes, hopefully it's not too long term and you lose too much market share and you're trounced by too many other layer ones. And so I guess at this point for me, speed is important. And then the big one here is replacing the Ethereum virtual machine with risk V to boost scalability. For Ethereum, the proposed radical change would enable Ethereum to run faster by removing extra translation steps. Moreover, applications could work directly on the execution layer, potentially making some operations up to 100 times faster and slashing on-chain execution costs by as much as 100x while keeping existing smart contracts working. This is a pretty big vision here for Vitalik.
Why the hell did it take so long to get to this point? It's obvious what's happened. Obvious.
Yeah.
Your competitors are more efficient, faster. The market cares less about your chain. Users are leaving. And the writing is on the wall. It's slow and clunky. And your best remedy is to say, hey, this is what you guys should do. Leave Ethereum and go over here to these to these other projects that scale on Ethereum.
Dude. Oh, okay.
It's literally what they're saying. It's like somebody saying, "Hey, I ain't got time for you, but I need you to date my friends. But come back. I want to marry you in 5 years. Like, I don't have time to take you out on nice dates. I just can't do it. So my friends are gonna do that. They're gonna court you around, and then you get what I'm saying? Like, look, man, you gotta handle that yourself, bro. Ethereum, scale it up, baby.
That's what he's trying to do.
But 5 years is too long, man. She ain't gonna wait around for 5 years, bro. Feel me? You feel me, dog?
What's going on?
So when are we going to the cigar lounge, Rob? Curious. First I've heard of it.
No way.
I forget if it was Wednesday or Thursday. I forget. It was one of those days.
Perfect. Yeah.
I
Well, we'll give you details.
I forgot. I got it written down on my calendar in the back.
Yeah, calendar. Big thank you to our channel sponsor, other sponsor today, which is CAMS Blue Wire Technology. If you want to learn how CAMS can help your business scale and grow and maximize your networking, IT, and cybersecurity, visit bluewiretech.com. There's also a link in the description. You know how important they've been to our success here at our studio. And so big shout out to them for being our longest tenured sponsor. Okay. With that out of the way, let's talk about what one country is looking to do. Interesting here. Rob, when you think of the Maldives or Maldives, what like image comes to mind, right? It's those little bungalows on the water, right? Or let me guess, a different image pops in your mind. What image pops into your mind when you think of the Maldives, Robin?
Honestly, I mean, if you really want to know,
Yeah.
The first thing you said, Maldives or Maldives, I was thinking about the malt chocolate, the Whoppers, you know.
Oh, geez.
Those malt delicious, you know what I'm saying? Those are so good, man. I don't know why people hate on them, man. They come in like a carton, like it's milk, and then you pour. Really good stuff there.
Yeah, milk.
I don't like the milk duds, the chewy ones.
Yeah, for sure.
It gets stuck in my teeth. Not for me, baby.
Anyways, for normal people, when they hear Maldives, they probably think of those little huts, right? And so look what Maldives is looking to do. They're looking to add to that image by being a blockchain hub. And they're putting up $9 billion to build a hub. Take a guess how much their GDP is, Robin.
I don't know.
$6.5 billion.
There you go.
They're spending more than the entire country's GDP to make them a blockchain hub. Hey, more power to you, Maldives, or malt chocolate Whoppers that you can put in milk, according to this guy here.
Put it in milk. It comes in a milk carton.
Oh, it comes out of milk carton. Yes. Unless you get the Halloween wraps where you hand them out, they come in the little. Anyways, why am I sharing this? I did not know that we were going to go down the chocolate route. But at the end of the day, what does it say? Now, I know all that money is not coming from the Maldives government or the country itself, but it's still a lot of money. And you're going to see more and more of this. And you look at
That's it.
You look at a country like El Salvador that has a crap load of Bitcoin, and they're going to leverage those to issue bonds. You're going to see the U.S. do the same thing, and it's going to be other countries. Maybe not the top 10 or 50 countries, but maybe countries that are on the brink. They want to find a way to raise the value, right, of their GDP. What better way? Buy Bitcoin, use that Bitcoin to issue Bitcoin-backed bonds, raise money for your country. And so I think this could be really, really good moving forward. That'll do it for the show today. We all want to thank you very much for joining us. It was a pleasure to give you the crypto information you needed for the day. Also, big thank you to Nick, and big thank you to all of you watching. Make sure you sub to the channel and buy your Bitcoin tickets if you haven't done so.
If you buy and you're gonna,
What now?
if you buy, send us a screenshot or something. We'll go hang out at the cigar bar. If you've already bought one, reach out to us. Let us know you bought one, and then we'll organize something at a cigar bar. I saw former Jimmy, whatever your Jimbo name is now.
Jimbo Fett.
Jimbo Fett, he said it's the same place we hung out and had cigars at last time. It was, yeah, me, you,
I was
Rocco.
not there.
You were
I
there.
skipped the cigar lounge. We went to dinner first, remember? At that Italian place.
Well, sucks for you. Me and Rocco had a really good time.
We went there, yeah.
Yeah,
we went
yeah.
there, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Jimbo
Yeah.
Fett was there.
hopefully you don't
Talking
spend all
about
the,
old David missing out, yeah.
hopefully you don't blow the checking account before we get there.
Come
But
drink
either
old-
way,
come drink old fashioned, smoke a cigar, and
Yeah.
come hang out with us.
Like
Yeah.
that.
Rocco,
Yes.
thank you all so much for tuning in. Appreciate every single one of you. Big thank you again to our guests. And we love you guys. Have a great day. Until tomorrow. Peace.
Ciao a tutti.
Sin City, crypto. Everybody know what we here for. Entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in. For big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I split the game, but they gave it. Name the coin, it's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coin.